and welcome to today's video. I'm in the car, I'm driving. Yes, my seatbelt is on and I have $20 in my pocket and I want to see what I can buy this week at the discount grocery store. It's been many weeks since I got to go away and I want to find out if I can get anything that we need, especially dairy products. I need some fresh fruit, hopefully I can find some, and some dairy products because that's something I can't get for free. So let's get started on our journey. Woohoo! Everybody, and welcome to my channel. Can you give me that thumbs up and can you make sure you're subscribed? Now let's get started in the video. It's been a long time since I drove. It's just my daughter and I. Hubby didn't feel like going. What better thing to do on a rainy day, right? So it's going to be exciting for me. I'm hoping that I can find some things that I need. And I'm hoping there's not too much of a problem with this camera because I don't have any other camera to take away with me. So if there is a little bit of a mark on the side of the camera, there's nothing I can do about that. That is something in my camera. So here we go, everybody. We'll see you in a little bit. Here's just a few of the things that I got for $20. It was a pretty good day, but it wasn't anything too great. So I did get some tomatoes. Those frozen soup vegetables, I'm going to do a video showing you how you can dehydrate frozen vegetables. So that was a really good deal for 99 cents. It's something I really didn't need, but I wanted to share with you a video on how you can make it. You know, a lot of people don't have gardens, and so they can dehydrate using frozen food. That was bacon. That was organic. It said it was anyhow, and that was only $1.49, which wasn't a bad deal, but I figured out it was only a half a pound. I was not thinking too much when I bought it. So at $3 a pound, I guess you would say it's a deal, but it wasn't anything that great. I'm noticing prices are really going up. Now, I did get some of these herbs because I am planting more things in pots. But yeah, the prices are really going up. And they were really picked out of a lot of things. There just wasn't much there. I got a few things that my husband likes to eat, and so that was about it. It's something different for me because there used to always be food there, and there's something in the air. I just feel it, that there's some changes going on. And even though I got some things, it was not like as cheap as I used to. So we'll have to see once. I'm really glad I do have a full pantry. In this day and age, you need one because there's a lot of things going on in this world and you never know what tomorrow's going to bring. I can't help but think that there's something going on in our economy. I'm one of those people that don't know much about economic situations, but I do know when I go to the grocery store and the shelves are empty, something isn't right. Even the discount grocery store, there was no food there, which would make sense because the discount grocery store is surplus of food. In other words, the grocery stores are hanging on to their food a little longer. They're not selling it cheap, truckloads of it, to the discount grocery store. I can't help but think something is off. Something isn't right. We went to a regular grocery store. The milk was over $5 a gallon. That jumped a lot in 7 days. At the taping of this video, all the food that we got was a lot more expensive, sometimes even by 10 to 15% more. $40 and $50 doesn't buy you much anymore. Now maybe I don't know much about what's going on. It's been a while since I really went to the grocery store and actually had to price food. As you know, I try to get all the food I can that was going to be thrown away and try to use it. I'm in my pantry today because I'm talking about economic situations. I'm talking about things. And there's certain words I cannot say here on YouTube, so I won't say them. Like our system is so fragile. You know, one little mishap and the cards come tumbling down. We're built on a house of cards. One card, boop, and it all falls down. This isn't a doom or gloom video, but this is to share with you that food prices have really gone up. I didn't see it up until this week, and it went crazy. At the taping of this video, the stock market went crazy. Who knows how long that will last? But there's a lot of things going on, and so I'm here to share with you. Time is of the essence. You don't have to have a lot of money. You don't have to have a lot of space, but you can stock up on some of your food. I couldn't believe it when I went to the discount grocery store. I was really blessed by going there other times in my life. I I will be honest with you, going to the discount grocery store, I took it for granted. You know, and I know a lot of you said, well, you can't get prices like that. I took it for granted because it was always there. But this week, it wasn't. There wasn't much food. There wasn't dairy that I could get that was cheap. There just wasn't stuff there. And I realized, wow, what a difference that makes. Then when we went to the regular grocery store, it was depressing. It was downright depressing. We had a calculator and we had $40. And we had so many things that we wanted to get. Yes, I have this pantry. Yes, I won't starve. But like sour cream and milk and all those things, those are things that I enjoy having. Fresh fruit. You know, when you want to live healthy, fresh fruit really can help you out. Well, you can't afford it. I honestly don't know how people are affording the food that they're buying. I cannot figure it out. I can't figure out how they're affording it with families. I would love to know how people are doing it. The everyday people. Now, most people who watch my videos are a lot like me. You know how to cut the cost, and you know how to, prepare inexpensive meals. But what about these people? You know, a lot of them are using food stamps to get convenience items. I'm not saying that about everyone. I'm just saying for what I see in my area and see what people are doing. So, yes, they probably are taking that for granted. What happens if food stamps would go away? It's a little bit like Social Security. They say it will never go away, but who says it will never go away? You know, never say never. And you know, when something happens, you're not going to be given a warning. Not at all. It's just going to happen, and then you're going to have to try to pick up where you left off and try to figure out what you're going to do in life. Realist. So I realized that if I had a whole bunch of debt and couldn't pay it, someday reckoning day would come. And that's how it is with our government. Come on, think about it. We are so much in debt, you know someday something's going to happen. You can't continue to live this way. You know, you can file bankruptcy and you can start over, but then that ruins your credit and that ruins other things in your life. You cannot just not pay your bills, and the government doesn't have money. And so a lot of people get their feathers ruffled when I talk about this, but I'm a realist. Come on. Common sense. Where is our common sense nowadays? You don't hear me talk a whole lot about ranting about stuff like this because I think about it every day. But I don't really talk a lot about it because sometimes I feel like I'm talking on deaf ears. Like people just, oh, okay, well, whatever. We'll worry about it next week, next month, next year. But what happens if that next day, next week, next month happens now? And so here I'm in the pantry to explain to you. You can stock up on cheap things. We still have a window of opportunity right now where you still can get some foods that are fairly cheap. But you got to learn how to make them and use them. I always talk about rice. I have a whole playlist on rice. Different ways to make rice. But let's talk about noodles. There's hundreds of different kinds of noodles. You can use noodles with white sauce. You can use noodles with spaghetti sauce. You can have noodles with cheese. You can have noodles with any vegetable you desire. Noodles is something universal. It's something easy to cook. You can add a little protein with chicken in your noodles. You can add anything you wish to it. This was 69 cents for this. And I put it in glass jars. Hey, you don't have to buy a glass jar. Keep it in your box and put it away somewhere. These things are so fundamentally easy. And you know, maybe I had a wake-up call. Maybe where you live, the food prices aren't high. But let me tell you, on the East Coast, something happened. Something really happened. And my husband and I, we had the calculator, and it was like, this is depressing because we had to choose whether to get this or to get this. And it was just something really, I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. And you know what? When I get the food that's going to be thrown away, the last couple months hasn't been as good as far as the fresh food. Then eventually that will stop because what they're doing now is they are going to be putting in over $100,000 food dehydrator. And so when they get vegetables and they get food coming in, they actually are going to have a facility that's going to dehydrate the food, and they can send that overseas. And that's an amazing thing. But then that means that there's people around here that aren't going to get it. And that is going to be implemented in the next 2 years. So I know that the throwaway food isn't going to last me forever. And that's why I try to get what I can before it's too late. And I think that's wonderful what they're doing to get a dehydrator, commercially dehydrate all the broccoli and all of the vegetables that they get, and that to send it overseas, because that's where it's really needed. It is really needed in other countries. It's not needed as much here. But I get it because it's going to be thrown away. So I'm not going to sit and watch it be thrown away if I can use it. So, but I know that's not going to be coming. My garden, I'm really amping up my garden. I'm really getting my garden going and really producing food, because when a shortage comes, people, you're not going to know it ahead of time. They're not going to announce 6 months from now, there's not going to be so-and-so, or the food's going to be higher. It's just going to happen. So think about it this way. If you knew that something was going to happen in your life, and you knew that it was going to happen, you would prepare for it, wouldn't you? Or would you just sit back and not worry about it and wait until the time comes? 9 out of 10 people would prepare a little bit for it. When people have a surgery, they often prepare days ahead. They prepare for it happening. And people, it's time to prepare, because we don't know what tomorrow holds. And that doesn't mean that you get scared and you get anxiety over it. It just means, hey, you got an extra dollar. Go out and buy an extra thing. So I know one thing about my videos and my channel. I reach mostly women, and I reach mostly women that are on Social Security, or women that would be considered on middle to lower class income. And the women are usually 50 years and older. That is just my dynamics of my channel. So that means you guys don't have as much money, and I totally get that. At the end of the month, you have to try to figure out where money is going. I totally get that. The ads on YouTube aren't near as high. I'm not getting near the amount of revenue that I did, let's say 2 months ago. So I realized now I got to buckle down, and I got to realize what is actually needed in my life. And, I had a month where things were pretty nice for me, and I was able maybe to get a few things that were extra. I'm not able to do that anymore, and neither is most of the content creators. So now I'm thankful I set money back in December and January, my good months. I set money back. That money is only used for emergencies if I need it. Now I'm down to the nitty-gritty and the bare bones budgeting. I am down to using exactly what I have. My freezers are half empty because we're not buying food, we're not buying anything. We're using what we have. This pantry may look like a lot of food to you guys. Do you understand? This pantry, if it would feed my whole family, this pantry would only last us probably 9 months, 8 months. If it would feed just my husband and I, probably 2 years. That is a lot of food, but really when it comes down to it, it's not that much. And so I want to just send this out to with all of you and just help you understand that, we don't know what tomorrow brings. And it was a price sticker shock for us. And maybe the prices will go down someday. I don't know. But for me, it was a wake-up call. And I hope that you take something from this video. Whether you buy yourself a couple pounds of noodles or a couple pounds of rice, or find the foods that you like to eat. And find the foods that are frugal that you like to eat. And stock up on those foods. Do it now. You're not going to lose anything. And you know what? You're going to gain a lot of peace of mind in return. Hi, everybody. If you like my videos, take a look at these. These are the videos that I made during the week, and I think you missed some of them.